welcome back. How's everyone's quarantine going? Mine is great. Being in a tiny apartment with a baby and no balconies. Great! I'm just hoping you guys don't notice that even though I look neat up here, I'm not wearing any pants and I don't care anymore. Anyway, I normally don't look like this on most days. On most days, I look like this. And no need to spare my feelings. I know I look like crap. I just don't care. Anyway, so I've been getting a lot of requests on Instagram on how to do this fox style of eyeliner because the fox style eye makeup is getting so popular, and a lot of people with monolids are asking, can I do it? Because, you know, with hooded monolids especially, and hooded eyes in general, your eyes fold in all sorts of weird ways and cover up a lot of lid space. So lining takes some creativity. So in this tutorial, I'll show you how to do this eye makeup and hopefully you find it useful. But before we get on to the tutorial, please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. It really helps me out a lot. It helps other people find my videos, and if you'd like to share this video, that would be really greatly appreciated. Anyway, thank you so much in advance, and let's get on to the tutorial, shall we? Okay, so first I'm starting off with Eccentric Cosmetics Primer as usual, all over my lids. First, I'm using a shade that's a tad lighter than my natural skin shade. I'm applying this shade all over my eyes, making sure it peaks above my eye line and follows the natural shape of my eyes. In this palette, it's My Precious. I'm using the Colourpop So Jaded palette. It's the one they did in collaboration with Kathleen lights, but of course, all the colors I used are fairly neutral colors, and you can even use a contouring palette for this. For smoother blending later on, I'm grabbing a translucent powder and applying it above and around the eyeshadow block I've just created. Now I'm grabbing Rose Quartz, a peachy shade that's 1 or 2 shades darker than my skin tone, and I'm applying it on the outer 2/3 of my eyes, blending it inwards and winging it out towards the end. Now I'm going to take this dark brown shade, Stoned, in this palette, and I'm going to apply it on the outer 1/3 of my eyes, blending it inwards and feathering it out into a wing. I'm switching back and forth between this color and the color I used previously just so that the blend is as smooth as possible. To make sure there's no hard edges, I'm taking a clean, fluffy blending brush and just rubbing it around the edges of this look. I'm even using it in between the colors I blended just to make sure there's no hard edges at all. Next will be the more complicated part, getting a flattering looking fox wing on monolids. It's all about placement, and showing the placement in a diagram is difficult because your face has curves and isn't 2D like the diagram. As a general rule of thumb, it's best to have the top part of the inner wing be parallel to the bottom part of the outer wing. How dramatic you want the angle to be is up to you, but I generally like following the angle of the inner part of my eye where it slopes down. Then, you'll want to connect the tip of the wing to the outer part of your eye where the eye line starts to slope down. Since the shape of the inner part of my eye is what determines the angle of the wing, I prefer drawing my inner corner wing first. My eyes aren't too far from my nose, so I can't make this line too long, so I'm literally just tapping my liner down and then lightly tracing my inner corner so the line connects smoothly to my eye instead of harshly sticking out. I find that when you're doing this liner for the first time, the hardest part is connecting the tip of the wing to your eye in a smooth slope so it doesn't look too awkward. If you're not confident in drawing the slope, I suggest slowly building up the liner in multiple lines until the top part is smooth. Remember, you can always erase the bottom part with an eye makeup remover, but the top part, well, if you get it wrong, you're gonna have to redo your entire eye makeup. So now you have 2 floating wing tips. You can leave it like this or knead in the insides, up to you. Now this is an additional thing I like to do so the liner doesn't look too harsh and you get more of that sultry, foxy effect. Take the same dark brown eyeshadow and a pencil brush and lightly run it across the top part of your outer wing, blending the color inwards to make sure there's no hard edges. Then run the same shade in the outer half of your lower lash line. This may seem weird to some people, but this is where I apply my color corrector and concealer under my eyes. It seems weird, but I have a very good reason. If I make any mistakes and go too heavy with the pencil brush, I can use my under eye concealer to fix it while I'm concealing. If I already have concealer on, layering another layer of concealer just makes it too cakey. Now I'm using a shimmery highlighting shade, Moonstone, in this palette and applying it in the middle of my lower lash line. I find that this prevents this look from looking too heavy on monolids. If you do want to use false lashes, just remember that false lashes can alter the shape of monolids drastically. See how awkwardly flat the inner part of my eyes look now? That's when you'll have to crank out the eyeliner again to round out any weird hard edges the lashes create. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching the entire thing. If you have any questions or tutorial requests, feel free to leave a comment below. And I'll see you guys next time. See you. Bye.